Hello YouTube, this is StarStreak2191 here with another YouTube video. So in this video, if judging by the title, I'm actually going to be teaching you guys how you can make your own CraftBukkit or Spigot server. So let's begin. So we're going to actually create a new folder, and we're going to call it, you can actually name this folder whatever you want, it doesn't matter, so I'm just going to call it Minecraft server tut. I can't put this period. Anyways, so we're going to open this. Now what I actually like to do is actually make a new folder in here and call it Spigot updates or just updates. You can just call, I'm just going to call it updates because it'll be easier for you guys to update. So, which I'll cover in the next video about updating with plugins and other things. So let's see here, I'm going to have to create a new folder. So where's the folder? And we're actually going to call this one server. We're just going to call this one server. It doesn't matter what you name these folders, as long as you understand them. That's good. Okay, so in updates, you're going to actually want to go to Build Tools, and you actually want to download the latest build. Now, I'm actually going to link these a few things, so I'm just going to download that. So, before you actually are able to actually start this, you're going to actually need to get Git. You're going to need to get, depending if you're running on, you have to have Java for this as well. Depending if you're running on 32-bit or 64-bit. If you are running on 64-bit, you're going to want to run the 64-bit Java right here. The offline one. That way you can actually add more RAM to your computer. I mean, not your computer. To your server. So you can actually have less lag. So if you're running 32-bit, nothing I can really tell you. You can only run 1 gigabyte because that's the maximum it will allow you to run. But once you have that installed, let me put this back down here. Once you have those installed, we're gonna actually. So I recommend actually getting Notepad++ for this as well. It's actually a really good software. And most server tutorial people would actually tell you get Notepad++. And that's because it is a really good software. So let's open our Notepad++. I actually have this saved. All these will be in the description. So for the build tools, we're going to use this one. Okay, so I just going to do that. Okay, we're going to use this one. But if you actually want to run like an earlier version of Spigot, like 1.7 or 1.8, you would do --rev 1.8. You can also do this with 1.9 since this is the 1.92. Latest update is the 1.9.2. Sorry. But anyways, so we're gonna actually call this run.sh. It has to be an sh, otherwise it's not gonna work. And then you're gonna actually find your folder. So mine's Minecraft server tut, and we're gonna do that. So save. And now that we have that saved, now we're actually gonna Windows R on keyboard, or you can actually just search in. Now you have to remember this is actually for Windows, not for Apple. I do not have an Apple computer, and I don't think I really want one. No offense to any people that use Apple or anything, but I'd rather actually use Windows because I'm more familiar with it. So we're actually going to go to download, so you can either do this, which doesn't show up for me, but I usually just do this method, downloads. And then we're going to actually, so I forgot to clean out my downloads. Anyways, you're going to actually move to the updates. Okay, and then we can just close out of your downloads because you're not going to need that for the rest of this tutorial unless you're installing a plugin. Okay, so we're going to run the server. We're going to run this actually. So this is going to actually take a little while for it to run, but once it runs, this should close automatically and give you the latest version. So we can actually close out of this one. And while we wait for this to run, I'm actually going to show you how you're going to set up your starting the server parts. So the server, now we're actually going to do new. Never mind, we're not going to do new. We're actually going to go back in our notepad. And we're actually going to put in this right here. Now, so now we're going to actually get out of updates. So let's see here. We're going to go to Minecraft server go to server, and we can actually call you can call these whatever you want. I like to call them start and run because they're easier. So do this. Now this one's going to be start.bat, and then you're going to actually save it as all types. You have to do that with the other one. I forgot to explain that. But you have to save that as all types, then you're going to save. Now, Now, so say you want, like, let's see, I'm just gonna point out a character that some of you might want, which is, I actually will put this one in the description if you guys are so eager to get it. But say if you want this in your server without having any errors or some weird Unicode, to actually make it so you don't have any weird errors or anything, I would recommend actually having this right here. So this is how you would actually install it. You would install it like this. I think I actually removed something from here. I think it's actually Xmx1024M So, messed up on me, by the way, just so you know. But you have to do -jar, and I think I already copied and pasted, but we put -jar there, and this will allow you to have UTF-8 characters like this right here. So, I will put this character in the description. It's not really that hard. To do this, I'll actually type it out how you would do this. You do Alt, and then you would have to have your numlock key enabled, and you have to use the keypad, and then you do Alt, and it's 175, which would equal Alt 175, which would equal that, which you would probably use in your chat. Alt 174 is that. So say you wanted to show the name like that. I don't know why you would do that, but whatever floats your boat. So we're actually going to delete that because we're not going to use that, and that's going to cause some errors in here. So we're going to save this. So let's see here, we could actually close out of this now. Now what we're actually going to do is create the EULA. So the EULA is something you would actually want to read. I'm actually going to allow the server, once we get the download, to actually, I don't know why this says new, to one program to run. I do not understand that. Anyways, so let's see how far this is. It's decompiling right now. But once this is done, we'll actually get some. So once we go into here, it's gonna actually, you'll see that there's quite a few things. There's the Maven, which is WinRAR, which I actually will link in the description. So winrar.com, I think it was. Okay, can't remember what it was called. I think that was their website. No, I don't know. This might be. I'm actually just gonna search it up because. Let's see. So. I think this is it. No, that's not it. Windish. I do not know which one it is. Okay. I cannot remember. I would just recommend using this one. So we'll actually get our 64-bit. So just gonna see if we can put 64 right here, and will it load? Possibly not, because we changed something in the URL. That's been it. You can download WinRAR on here too as well, but it's secure download. I recommend using CNET, or as you can see, my browser is not responding because of these ads down here. So you can actually download this. I recommend using this if you want to extract files. If you do not want to extract files, then you can actually, or you can actually use 7-zip to extract your files as well, or Windows to extract your files, depending on your operating system. But yeah, so we can actually close out of these because I already explained that. And you would actually want to come here every once in a while just to make sure you have the latest build up to date. So yeah, and then this, you don't have to have that open anymore. I'll get into the spigots in a little bit. So this is still loading. As you can see, it's still loading that. So I'm actually gonna get back to you guys when it's done loading. I promise you it will just close automatically because it takes about 20 minutes for it to actually put into here. So I'll get back to you guys in a few. So yeah, it'll be more like a second to you guys, but for me it'll probably be like 10 minutes. So yeah, see you guys when this is actually done. Okay, that was a fail. I thought I had that, was it? Okay. I do not remember how to stop the recording. So I'm just gonna pause. Okay guys, so it actually stopped, so I'm just making sure my recording actually started recording. But it actually closed, as you can see. You guys didn't really see it close, but yeah, so now that we actually have it, so I actually recommend using the spigot because it's much easier. Now there is a website you can actually go, so I think it's called spigot updates. I'm not sure. Update spigot, maybe? Update spigot.com? I am not entirely sure. I'm gonna actually look. So spigot update, I think, was what it was called. Spigotupdate.com. No? Okay, I'll just look at spigot downloads. Anyways, so let's see here. Oh yeah, Git Spigot. Okay, it's called Git Spigot. So this actually does have almost all the same things, but it's not always up to date. So I recommend just doing the method that I'm using, which would be to have it do that running thing. So anyways, so now that we actually have that, let's go ahead and actually copy this. We're actually going to paste it into the server. Now one thing I actually recommend doing is renaming it to spigot.jar. The reason is for this because if we actually did have it, so I don't know why I didn't add it with Notepad++, but as you can see it says spigot.jar. This is going to correspond to this right here. So if that actually is different name, if that is a different name, then that won't correspond with it, causing your server to not start. I did actually have to fix that issue with someone earlier on Skype, but this is the same thing for build tools. Usually it's just BuildTools.jar, more than likely, as long as you downloaded it from where I actually linked it to in the description. And all links will be in the description, including that Git Spigot, though I recommend actually doing this method better. So now that we actually have that, we're actually going to start the server. I'm actually going to start Minecraft. Now remember, this is 1.9.2. Now this will actually correspond to other versions, more versions in the future. So as you can see, our server didn't start. That's because we didn't accept the EULA, which I said I would wait for this. That way it'll actually give you a link to what you can actually have. I recommend reading the EULA before you actually start your server or make a server, like with buying things, because there are some things you cannot do. And the EULA changes frequently, which I have to actually reread that because it changes frequently. But you're just going to change this to true. We're going to X that out, and then we're actually going to start the server again. Now I'm not going to actually go over port forwarding, as there's a lot of tutorials on it. And also everyone has a different thing. I actually will go a little briefly on it, but I already have my server port forwarded, so if somebody joins, and that's alright. So what we're going to do here is, for the port forwarding, you're going to actually open your CMD. You're going to go ipconfig, and you're going to look for your your default gateway. That's what you're going to look for. So that's your default gateway. So that's actually should be something similar to this, so 168, and you're going to get something like this. So you're going to log into your router. I'm actually going to have this as a black box, so none of you can actually see what I'm actually going to be doing, what I put in here. So that's going to be a black box. So I use a Linsky's, depending on what kind of router you have, but you're going to go to applications for gaming and gaming network, and you're going to actually so you're going to create a server. I already have mine set up right up there, but somewhere up here, Bungie server. I don't know why I called it Bungie server, but you can call this whatever you want. So I'm just going to call it Minecraft server, and then you're going to actually do 25565. And then you're going to do 25565. Now this says both. You should make sure, if you do not have the option to do both, you'd want to make sure you make both of these with it. And now you're actually going to look at your IPv4 address, and you're going to put 142. So, well, I'm going to be putting 142. So you're going to look for your IPv4. You're going to put that in. So it's going to actually show 16. More likely, that's what it's going to say. But that's what you're going to put on here. So we can close out of this, and you can save your settings. Make sure you have that checked as well. I'm not going to save these settings because I actually already have it port forwarded, and it's just going to cause my router to lag. But yeah, that's how you port forward. It's pretty basic. So as you can see, our server started up. So it doesn't look like we got any errors on startup. Now, actually, one thing I'm going to cover before I actually end this video and show you that this actually works. So I'm actually gonna, also for the for the port forwarding, if you want users to connect, you're actually gonna go to ipchicken.com, which a lot of people go to. You can also search IP, IP, and can also search IP and it'll more than likely tell you. If it gets you a bunch of random numbers, go to IP chicken. So this is your IP. And I actually will cover in this video actually how you're going to change it. So I'm actually going to go no-ip.com. People have been having issues. Someone was having issues. So you're going to log in. Again, black box, so you guys don't know my username or email. So you guys don't try to contact me and all that. So, and the password's going to be a black box too, so you guys don't know how many characters I have in my password. So you're actually going to go to your dynamic DNS. You're going to add a host name. I already have a host name, and you're going to actually put your IPv4 address in. That's not supposed to be IPv4. It's supposed to be your IP address. You're going to make it whatever you want. So say I wanted it, I don't know, HarperSageK, like my username. Okay, and we can actually change it to one of these. These are free. You can also pay for it if you want like a .com, which this is enhanced. But it is free to use this. So I usually use ServeGame, not ServerGame. They also do have like Serve Minecraft right here, serveminecraft.net, and you're gonna add host name. I already have a host name, so well, actually, just to show you guys that this works, I'm actually gonna add it. Though it will work. So now we're actually gonna direct connect. Well, here I'm just gonna show you what you're gonna do. You're gonna actually have a local host. Don't mind the name. The name you can name it whatever you want. That's something that's coming out in the future. Actually, that's my server coming out in the future. So I'm just gonna full screen this so you guys have a good option. As you see, Minecraft 1.9.2. So it's logging in. We're actually gonna show you. So UUID. That doesn't matter because anyone can see that if I go on any server. And as you can see, we actually joined. So it's going to be laggy at first because it's still generating the chunks. So give it a sec to generate all those chunks, because this is like, it's almost like you're building a world pretty much right now. And you actually are building a world right now, so let's jump. Now, say I try to do such game mode C, you're going to notice you have no permission. What you're going to actually do is you're going to op and then your username. So mine's StarStreak219. Of course, so then you can actually do game mode C /PL. It actually has a lot of things. So I'm actually going to cover something that I forgot to actually tell you guys what I was going to cover, because I wanted to show you that you can actually connect. So let me show you that you can connect with the IP first, and then I'll show you. So we're going to add server HarperSageK.serve minecraft.net. So that's what the IP would be. Go down. Boom. It actually works. So as you can see, we're on the same location we were before. And this is the world. So I'm actually almost done with this video, guys. Just hang with me here, because it is recommended that you run Java 8 as well, because most plugins are updating to Java 8 anyways, and most plugins are Java 8. So would recommend using Java 8 because there's a lot of Java. MC Pro hosting, I noticed that actually they only use Java 7, which is really not that high and superior for them, because they're a really expensive hosting company and they only support Java 7. I've been actually contacting support about that, 'cause I actually am helping out a friend's server with something. But anyways, let's wrap up this video, guys. So I'm actually going to show you something before we actually end this video. So it's this. You're going to open the spigot.yml, because there is actually a /restart command. So let me just do it right here, restart. And as you can see, there's no start/sh. This is also where you can change quite a few things like that. Servers restarting. You can change all those. Tab complete. You can actually have a tab complete. Set block. These are place commands. Spam exclusions. So these are commands that you can actually have that are excluded from spam for your users. Stats, disable saving, you can disable saving if you wanted to. World settings, default true. Anyways, we're going to show you how you can actually change it. So to restart, all you're going to do is we're going to actually do this. We're going to just change start.sh to start.bat, which is what we actually named it. You can name it start.sh, though it's not going to give you color inside the thing. It's not going to have anything. So now we're actually going to start the server again. So We're gonna wait for the server to start. It takes a little while for the server to start, depending on how many plugins you have. Along with it has to load the world, make sure everything's running properly. So as you can see, it's about to be started, and it is done. So you'll get this message when it's done starting. So I'm actually gonna go back into it, and we're actually gonna, now if we type /restart. So I'm actually going to type it back in console because that's where we get our errors from, mostly. And, okay, start.bat, as you can see, it restarted. And you can see right here, start.bat. And that's pretty much how you actually would do the starting and restarting. And as you can see, it says server is restarting. But yeah, that's pretty much basic stuff. That IP will be deleted, by the way, and my IP will actually be blocked so you guys don't connect to my beta testing servers, along with that other IP, because I don't want you guys really connecting to it yet. But anyways, that's gonna pretty much wrap it for this long video tutorial. Tried covering as much as I could with how you can actually make your server and do it. So there's ban IPs, all this I shouldn't have to really go over because you guys can experiment with it. One thing I'm actually going to go over right before I actually wrap up this video. So, say you wanted like your MOTD to have color codes, and I will actually do a list of color codes in my description, in the description below. So, to do a color code, you do U. Okay, you do this U00A7, the color code. So for this is my tut server. So we're going to save that, and we're going to start the server just to show you guys that it actually works, so you guys don't spam in my comments saying it doesn't work. Now if you want me to go over a few plugins, because I actually will be doing plugin tutorials, I don't know why that server's not loading, but I will actually go over a few plugin tutorials in the future. The first one that I'm actually going to go over, which is a must, is Spigot. No, not Spigot. As you can see, this we are actually going through Spigot. Anyways, I'm gonna be showing. I'm gonna be doing a tutorial on how you can actually use Essentials X, because Spigot Essentials is outdated now, and Essentials X is pretty much the same thing, but it has a lot of bug fixes. There's also, I can actually show you how you can actually make your icon. I haven't done this in a while though, so but it would be server-icon.png, I think it would be, or .ico. I'm not entirely sure. I believe it's .ico, but it has to be in the with, which I do not remember. So you can do a little Google searching on that part, but as you can see, works the same. And that's pretty much it for this video, guys. That's pretty much showed you how you can actually create your own server. So now I actually have to do the editing of this video. But anyways, I'll see you guys all in the next video. And as always, please rate, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you later. And working on my Minecraft server. So I've been a little busy.